Hi family, welcome back to Safe Space at Home with the Manzinis. Today we are addressing the elephant in the room, especially in Christian community, marriage out of community of property. And our beautiful guest, Mr and Mrs Maja, with their little addition there, they are in community. Welcome to our channel.
Thank you for having us. I am Maboke.
Yes.
So I go by my name,
Yes.
Maja,
Yes.
and then we are in our community of property, Premarital Maja,
Yes.
and my husband will introduce himself.
Okay. Thanks for having us. So this is the only in community of property we have.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's out of. So I am Nelson Madimeja Maja.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much for coming, because I think for most people this is an uncomfortable topic. You know, we are used to in community of property, especially within the Christian community. So what is out of community according to you?
I think my husband is in a financial institute, so I would request him to clarify this more for all of us and the viewers.
Out of community of property for us, it's not too different from in community, because we are basically saying we are two people that love each other. We see marriage as more than just an involvement of feelings.
Okay.
It's an agreement to be together for life, and we are basically saying let's hold hands and walk this life journey together. There are going to be circumstances where one person needs to rescue the other,
Yes.
and the other one maybe may have fallen, and that was the biggest contributor for us.
Okay.
So I have been in real estate for about 8 years, and I've seen some of my clients where you find that one person is doing very well financially, the other person is not doing too well. Maybe they may have been blacklisted by one of the companies for a silly thing.
Yes.
But unfortunately that will affect the
Entire family.
Correct.
Entire
So
household.
it then means that you can't really say I'm down as a husband.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask my wife to stand in the gap for us. So out of community of property, we treat it the same according to us as in community, where the view behind or everything that I do is ours.
Yeah.
It's just that in a financial and maybe a legal term, I am a person and I can stand on my own.
Who came up with the thing about it? How are we
Let's
going
do
to
it.
get married? Which way?
So before we got married, we went to premarital counseling.
Yes.
So these are one of the topics that were brought up. Every session we had different topics and different challenges. And I remember our psychologist asked, you guys say you love each other and you want to marry, you want to get married. Have you actually spoken about your finances? And at that moment we are so in love. We don't think these things.
There's
you
a
know?
need for that.
And she was like, have you done a credit check against each other? And we just thought, no. We even worked at the same company.
Yes.
So we just assumed we're earning almost the similar money.
Yes.
But now I don't know what he does. He doesn't know what I do.
Yes.
So when we had that session and we started declaring our financial responsibilities from home, how will that affect our marriage? Because of sometimes he might come from a well-off household. I don't. I need to continue this thing. How does it affect us? He might have a bad credit score, or I might have it. We didn't declare this. We only discover in marriage.
Yes.
So I think she opened our eyes to actually have these discussions, and it was even if I was bankrupt. Were we gonna get married or stop the marriage just because of this thing, you know? So she was like, even if you know, now it's how do we deal with it,
this?
you know? So you do not enter a situation that, okay, I'm currently bankrupt and then now I am marrying bankruptcy in community of property, we become bankrupt together. No, we can continue with our marriage and then attend the finances differently. And like he mentioned, then we can carry each other. So I think she triggered the discussion, and then we sat and started doing our research together.
Okay, nice. Because I think that's something that we don't even talk about. Most couples, when they come for premarital counseling, you can tell that they are lying to you, but because you don't have proof, they only want to get married. They want you to officiate. So you just allow them, hoping that eventually they will work out, whatever the differences. Okay, and how did the pastor take it?
Interesting.
So I remember him making a remark that and he's so speaking person.
Yeah.
And he was saying, "Kakala, we want to take it." And it was a very interesting one because, well, fortunately, my mother, who was there at the time when we officiated the whole thing, she's also been in the property industry, and she was actually very happy because, like I said, there are cases where you see that the one person affects the other. So yeah, the pastor was. He was
shocked.
He was very shocked.
And it was a first.
Yes.
And he was saying, I've married people for so long.
Yes.
A number of people in this specific church.
Yes.
And you guys are the first. Because of before he even officiated, we presented the contract.
Yes.
So we had already signed with the lawyers and everything. And we had presented the contract that we were told before we signed.
Yes.
This is what you need to see.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it was just an eye opener for everyone. Why are you guys doing this?
Yeah. Okay. And then the families. Because I remember how I got to know about your out of community. Nox mom is one of our prayer partners, one of my mothers. So one day I was telling her, I said, hey, I had just finished a course as a marriage officer. I said, yo, Mom Kondo, you must educate your children in communities not so Christian, even out of communities. So how did the family take it? But at that stage, I could see she's understanding, she's happy, she's happy with your decisions, she respects your decisions. But the first response, how was it?
Obviously, she was shocked.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, coming from a Christian background,
yes.
I think there is this stereotype of if you are marrying out, you are preparing for divorce.
Yeah.
But personally, I feel as if though nobody marries to divorce.
Yes, so true.
And we even asked, I don't remember reading the Bible and then in all these different kind of contracts.
Yes.
These were things that were brought by people. It's in us understanding the legal terms behind all of this.
Yes.
We believe that the pastor officiating our marriage is marriage enough.
Yes.
Us agreeing on being together is marriage enough. The in and out, it's more of a financial security. When we looked at it, it's this doesn't define our marriage because like my husband mentioned, I don't wake up every morning and say, hey,
this is my couch.
This is my couch. Type of thing. Nobody wakes up like that. The same way, people who are married in community of property don't wake up and say, hey, this is our couch. We don't speak in those terms. I think we are always reminded that this is how we married when we have to make investments. So we had to sit down and explain to our parents that the reason we're doing it has got nothing to do with our love
for each
other. Has got
yes.
nothing to do with Christianity. It's got everything to do with our financial vision for us and our families, you know, because of forever is a long time, and you need to start preparing for this forever now before you actually begin the forever journey. And when we spoke about it, she was also shocked, and she was like,
it makes sense.
Before she was like, and then how are we going to present it to the pastor? And then I was like, no, if you can approve it and understand it, I don't think the pastor needs us to explain, but we are more than willing to educate. The pastor is there to officiate the wedding, but we're more than willing to educate that the decision came from exposure.
Yes. Okay, that's interesting, because I know a lot of Christians who just got married and later on realized this decision I didn't think about it thorough and didn't get the right advice. Okay, and with the property industry also, it's quite interesting because we have seen in most instances when you buy a property, especially with me and my husband, they don't need a credit record of one person.
Correct. Yeah.
Because you are buying together.
Shamina Shawen.
Shamina Shawen, you know.
Yeah.
And then somehow there are things that we could not get because of the in-community, not because of affordability, but because your status affect me. So what would you say to a young couple about to get married and they're saying, I'm going all in? What's your advice?
So I would, in this case, I would paint us green and say, out of community is the way. And like we said, that we hardly think about it and say we are married out of community of property. Maybe to touch on a point that you made, it's not just one person being bankrupt or one having an extremely bad score, but you know that the risk ratings are, the scores are different. So you find that one person's score is so good, maybe that person qualifies for prime minus. But once you consider the other person's score, it then pushes all of that a bit up. So all those things, those are things that you really need to consider. So I would say do out of community of property, because I mean, again, you are able to buy a house with your sister. You are, your partner is so close. If you can buy with your sister, your partner is very close. We, okay, maybe just to give out a few examples. So we do have some properties that we both own, and obviously in that case, the bank looks at us and says, these are two individuals buying this property together. We have others that she owns under her name, others that I own under my name. And the good thing about all of this is that we are able to prepare. If you look at when you buy a property, the banks would ask you for your income. So we would prepare, say, 6 months in advance and say, love, let's purchase a property in 6 months. So we clear the one person's profile. Say there's a car that she's paying, we maybe pay that car off and move it to the next party. So we are freeing this person up so that the bank looks at this person and says, he has an individual, this person qualifies. I mean, it's way easier. At that point, I would have been carrying all the burden. And a few months later, we do the same, move some of those things. And it's, I mean, looking at all of that, it makes sense to go out of
community. Thank you so much for.
Can I just add on to what he said in how everything works together. You can see that even if we are out, we are in it.
You are in it.
Because of being out doesn't necessarily mean I can go purchase a property without declaring to him that I've purchased. Nice thing is he will still sign the same documents. It's just that when the bank looks at everything, they only look at the one parties. And we declare together. And like people say, oh shit, now you are preparing for divorce, whatever is in your name is whatever is under. We don't read it in that way. It's what makes financial sense now. And if it makes financial sense in our current standing and we're speaking about it, you can see that we're doing everything that people in community of property are doing. It's just the difference is how we signed our marriage, looking at how it will benefit us, because nobody wakes up and says I'll be bankrupt tomorrow. And nobody wakes up like that. The same way nobody wakes up and say I'll divorce, I'll have money, I will. But it is easier to move now in these COVID times. We have seen that,
especially
with COVID, people are losing their jobs and all
their homes
as well. And we're losing our homes because of we have it together. But now if I lose my home and he's got a different home registered under his name, we just easily move out and we go into the next home.
So and the safety net of the family is not disrupted.
It's not disrupted. So I think it was just more of a security thing than a love. Feelings are not attached to what the law says about our marriage. Our Christianity belief is because of we are still one. It's just the South Africa we are living in requires us to sign this particular document, and we signed it in this manner.
Wow. I think we actually need a second episode for this one. It's quite enlightening, because these are things that we don't talk about. You know, I was telling one of my mentors, I said, when we start with counseling and someone starts saying, no, why do you want out of community? Next session, you know, because certain things we really make them difficult by attaching emotions to them.
That's true.
When I listen to the stories of the Maja family, it's about accumulating wealth for two generations ahead of them.
Sure.
That is what Apostle Joshua Selman believes in, that you have to acquire for the next 2 generations that are ahead of you. Family, I hope you are equipped today and you'll make the right decision. Remember, they still believe in love, they believe in marriage, they believe in oneness, they believe in transparency, and they are open about everything. They are one before God because they have made a covenant. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, share, or comment.